Hello on the Rockers, get ready to rumble with pro wrestling, acting, singing, and hosting diva Taya Valkyrie and musician and celebrity collaborator Jeremy Thurber with my guest co-host, runway and print model and musician Steven Dehler, and me, your sassy host with the sassy most. Raise a glass, let the drinks begin, it's On the Rocks.
Thank you for being
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death. I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Lord have mercy, buttons and bows and pantyhose. On the Rocks podcast, a place where we're too glam to give a damn. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at On the Rocks on Air, and on Facebook, On the Rocks Radio Show. Send me an email, book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care, I'll show up. Info at ontherocksradioshow.com. Send us your comments, guest requests, and guest questions. The show's presented by Straw Hat Media. You can watch and or listen to our now over 330 episodes at ontherocksradioshow.com for free. You can watch us on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV on the Outlet.tv app, Facebook Watch on GED Magazine, I Love Gay LGBTQ, and Bear World Magazine. Streaming with pride on SVTV. We're everywhere, even if you don't want us to be. Let's get this show on the road. Steven Dehler, On the Rocks, our veteran pop culture reporter. Steven is no stranger to the spotlight, working as a runway and print model who's been seen on Will and Grace, Drag Race, and Todrick Hall videos. As a musician and dancer, he's appeared in Voss events, burlesque shows, and his YouTube videos of him playing shirtless are very popular. Please welcome back the Bubble Butt with the Brain, Steven Dehler.
Oh, I like that one. Bubble Butt with the Brain.
Bubble Butt with the Brain.
There's always a new nickname out of you.
So how are you feeling? Because you were like a little sick last week.
Well, yeah, but I mean, my body, I usually get like a cold like once or twice a year, and it's usually like I get hit the first day, mend the second day, and the third day I'm good, so I'm fine now.
But you also you have your certification in fitness and all that. You still work out, so are you supposed to work out through a cold?
No. Well, you have to listen to your body. So Jim
Goer here, right? Yeah.
You gotta listen to your body. So
Cheers, my body's moaning and groaning every day.
I give myself a solid 20 hours of just eating, because you feed a cold, starve a fever. So I didn't have a fever, so I was just eating as much as I could and just relax, and I was good by the next day.
Okay, all right. Well, there's your fitness tip today from Steven. Lord have mercy. Okay, let's welcome our guest. Returning to On the Rocks, welcome Jeremy Thurber, a.k.a. BleachX, a multi-platinum songwriter who's currently working on his sophomore album, fresh off of a massive tour with Trisha Paytas, one of his longtime collaborators and good friends. He's best known for his work with Jake Miller, Meghan Trainor, The Common Kings, and a slew of K-pop artists and more. He's prepping for his new project for next year as he continues to write for artists all around the world. Please welcome back Jeremy BleachX.
Hey!
Also joining us, adding some straight diva flair.
Let's go.
Taya Valkyrie is a pro wrestler, actress, singer, host, known for her fearless presence, undeniable glam, and sharp sense of humor. With an international career that spans many professional wrestling organizations, Taya has become one of the most recognizable figures in the wrestling world. Outside the ring, she's an accomplished performer and content creator. She's the host of the web series Making Towns with Taya, which gives fans a behind-the-scenes look at life on the road. And she's a star and co-creator of the comedy reality show Johnny Loves Taya. She also co-hosts the pop culture podcast I Don't Like That.
Yes.
It's hilarious, by the way. She serves her hot takes, internet spirals, and just the right amount of chaos. And if that wasn't enough to keep her busy, she's carving her lane as a singer and pop artist, stepping into a new creative era that merges her love of performance with infectious music. Her debut single is a bop. And it's called The Morning After, and I tell you, it is spot on. And it's dance, like I said, it's a pop, and it's full of party anthem energy and playful storytelling, setting the stage for her next releases. With additional singles on the horizon, she's building a catalog that celebrates empowerment, nightlife glamour, and unapologetic fun. She's also a fierce ally to the LGBTQ community, and will drop kick you if you don't support us. Please welcome Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
I'm surprised you could fit in the door with these shoulder pads.
I mean, it's just my ego just
keeps
growing.
That is a lot. You know? I miss shoulder pads. I mean, you're too young
I
to
love
know when
it.
shoulder pads
I
were
love
like
it.
I know, I love it.
I
There
already
was a
have
whole
broad-
discussion about the
I already
shoulder
have
pads.
broad shoulders, so I mean, like, I just gotta amplify
Accentuate.
it even more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
We're gonna just jump right in, and we're just gonna talk about your career. Here on the Rocks, we welcome all kinds of entertainment folk. I think you're the only second wrestler in our 13 years that we've had on the show.
Well, there you have it.
And the wrestler
And your
with the-
favorite.
Your new favorite. Your new favorite.
My face won't move, but here we go.
He's excited, I swear.
You hail from Canada, the land of maple syrup and hot Mounties.
Yes.
What did you learn growing up about life from your childhood that you still subscribe to this day?
I'm very lucky that both my parents, my dad's from Switzerland, so he also was, he immigrated here with my mom, to Canada, with my mom when they met and got married. And so I was really introduced to like a lot of different cultures and a lot of different people, religions, lifestyles, everything. And so I feel like that, I'm so happy that I was brought up that way, because I feel like that has taken me through my whole life and just, helping me build relationships with all different kinds of people and traveling the world and seeing the world for what it is.
And you really have traveled the world. All these different wrestling organizations. I'm not going to pretend I know all of the acronyms. It's like AAA.
It's a lot.
It's like AAA. It's like, well, that's a different AAA for me. But like
Yes.
all these wrestling. But you've ingratiated yourself into so many different wrestling groups successfully.
Yes, thank you.
And that needs a little adaptation. You need to be flexible a little bit.
Oh yeah, and like wrestling is different in every country. For example, like because I'm from Canada, is the same style as kind of American style, but when you go to Mexico, you're wrestling on a different side of the body.
Lucha Libre.
Lucha Libre is on the right, whereas wrestling in America and Canada is on the left. And then you go to England, and it's a totally different kind of vibe. Japan, same thing, totally different. So it's been really cool, and I also think that's what makes me different, is because I've really been exposed to all these different types of styles, peoples, fans, all of the above.
Now, when we think of a wrestler, we think of and we see your pictures, and you're just like a fierce hunk of woman. Like, yes. But the actuality is, you started out very early as a kid, as a professional, studying ballet.
Yeah. So I was like a musical theater kid and did ballet my whole life. Like I think I started
really young.
Yeah, when I was like 3 years old or something. Like I was the kid that was like the overachiever, wanted to be the lead in the high school musical, and also doing competitions and training with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet through summers, and like
The global famous Royal Winnipeg.
The Royal Winnipeg Ballet, darling. And I just kind of was in the arts my whole entire life. But I also, when people compare wrestling to ballet, I'm like, ballet was hard. And the teachers can be bitchy. And can be. Like, I can remember so many times I went home crying and bawling, and I'm like 12, 11. Yeah. 11, 12 years old, and like literally my mom's like, okay, well, do you want to quit? And I'm like, no. And I was like, I guess I just like being tortured.
But it is funny because ballet, it's a lot of brute strength.
Yes.
But it's done in a very stylized, it's very refined. And wrestling is brute strength as well. How did studying ballet, how did that prepare you for the ring?
I feel like it is also, we are also very refined in the ring, because you are working in a situation with another person. Like, someone can't just wrestle on their own. Obviously, it's just like having a dance partner. Obviously, it's predetermined. We all know that now. It's not 1983. And there's a villain and a good guy, and like you're having to I feel like so much of my ballet corresponded to it, like with even learning choreography and how to present yourself and creating those visual moments, especially as a character when you come through the curtain, and creating, people like want to know who you are as soon as you walk through, right? And when you enter the stage as a dancer or a performer, the same thing, happens there too. So I definitely have so many things and also just the training. And like the training was hard in dance and all that, but then you get to wrestling and they just want to beat you up. Like you really got to be nuts.
You bring up a good point. When you're in the ring, you're telling a story as to your character, but in ballet, you're also telling a story just through movement.
Yep.
And for football players, they tell football players to study ballet because it gets them in tune to their
Bodybuilders
bodies.
too, yeah. Lots of athletes I've been told over the years. I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger did ballet too.
Can you imagine that?
Back in the day? Yeah, like there's a whole, like, there's been many very famous, athletes through time who have been told to do dance and stuff just for coordination and timing and refinement of how they can like feel their bodies and move.
What's funny, we went to an Emmy gifting suite. Yes, I dropped
Oh
Emmy
my
gifting suite in there.
God.
Pick it up.
What'd you
Please,
bring us?
pick it up.
Girl.
Where's the trip?
Yeah.
But we talked to that little Pilates girl. She was so adorable.
Yeah.
And then she looked at your body because you have a big, you have a muscular body. Have you ever taken dance?
Well, I mean,
I've seen your dancing.
That's when you get a black eye. You're like, oh, it flopped in my eye.
Well, remember when we did that wine and yoga? Like years.
No, I don't remember. That's how good it was.
That was
I
years
was
ago.
gonna say
did
wine
yoga
and
and then
yoga.
you would
Alex,
sample
you
the
wine
wine.
and yoga.
I was serving behind the bar.
Right.
Yeah.
It was years and years ago. That's
It was all celebrities.
that was just like
Drunk
And
celebrities.
Emmy's gifting sweets.
you would do like yoga poses, and then like in between be like sipping wine, but then everyone just got trashed because they were like not eating, like
Falling over.
Well,
yeah.
no one came for the yoga; they came for the wine.
That's
Yes.
100%.
Right.
That part.
That's what's
so that's
happening.
the extent of like my yoga Pilates. But I mean, yeah, I'm down to do Pilates. That girl was fun.
I will tell you, one of the coolest experiences that I had this year was I had never got to see her wrestle live before, and every time she would be in LA, I would be on
He was
tour.
with Trisha Paytas.
Yeah.
His favorite.
I don't say. You go to his Instagram. It's Trisha.
We love you, Trish.
Thirst trap. Trisha.
Love
Thirst
you,
trap.
Trisha.
Trisha's furniture.
Booty. Trisha.
Yeah. Okay, you need the hashtag. Do you want to say it one more time?
Yes.
No, but so I had 3 days off between going through that, and I decided to fly to Mexico City. She was down there. She was all alone, and her husband was like, "Yes, you should go."
Yeah, and I
Like,
was there for like 9 days or something. I was doing a tour.
We,
It's a lot.
I showed up
Mexico
to the
City is
hotel.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I showed up to the hotel. She was going to do press, and she left me for like 2 hours. But before that, we went to go do a snack run at the OXXO, which was 30 feet away from us. You can't walk 2 feet in Mexico City without someone pulling out a trading card of Taya.
Okay, let's be fair though. I have bright yellow hair and I'm tall,
Well,
and then I
was
had
frosted
gangly,
blonde, and you got
over
you got
here.
the
like,
used
I
car
go, "You're
sales
not-"
balloon over here, me.
He was
description.
not helping the situation
No.
at all.
And it was really cool. And then I got to see her art. And I remember after she got off performing, she was like, "I was so scared when you saw that girl kick me in the face. You were going to run up to the stage and ruin my performance."
Yeah.
And everything in my body was like, "Protect my girlfriend." But then I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." And what they put their bodies through, and like she will come home she does TV every week. Bruised. She's got all the creams. They've got the massagers at home. They've got everything good. And they really like, the art is so insane, and it's so cool to like know her, and like I just ask her questions because I'm curious of like, I love to know how things work. Like, what is the mechanics of this? And like knowing it, like she works so hard, but she puts her body at risk. You know what I mean?
And I
Like,
love answering your like questions about
I'm
it
like,
because
"Why
it's
do you
like
do this and
it's
where?"
like a new
It's
kid
a
who's like,
nice
"What
though.
is this?" You know, and I have to explain everything, and which is cool because I will say this about our friend group in general is like we all have these different passions from singing, dancing, performing, hosting, wrestling, but I'm like the only real like wrestler girl basically, and I'm having to like teach everyone kind of what I do, and I think that that's really cool because it
Yeah.
makes for fun conversations and just discovering and being able to go to each other. Like we've gone to see Trisha's show with him. I've seen him perform.
Who?
pick it up. Pick it up.
Yeah, I got to see his art, and it was cool because he actually like took those 3 days off and came down to see me. So it was and it was it's magical. Mexico City is great.
And then
Like,
we did
yeah.
have a pool party like a month ago where I let her.
Oh, I was teaching him. We were very. Cheers.
We were in a different plane.
There's a lot of on the rock situations happening in my pool, and I was teaching him how to take like poison ranas in the pool.
What's up? It's a run.
Wait, what?
So he's standing up in the pool, and then
I
I
let
get,
her do it to me dozens of times, and she
and I was
would
like,
just,
the next day, I go, what the fuck? I'm on his shoulders, sitting on his shoulders, and I back bend off his shoulder. The idea is to take his head back so he lands on his head. So we're
I
basically
let
both
her
flipping
fuck
backwards.
me up for like
And
half an hour.
and he's like, let's do it
girl.
again. And we just kept going and going. And I was like, the next day, I'm like,
Is he
not
okay?
smart, not smart,
Were you sore?
but.
No, I wasn't, because it was so
You were
interesting.
feeling your-
No, because I'm so curious about mechanics of
Yeah,
any
of course.
industry.
Yeah.
We were so athletic in that moment.
We were, and probably because I was, on a different spirit level.
You were fluid.
Literally.
And so it was so cool because, like, honestly, like, okay, this is weird, but like I could feel the
My legs clenching.
the
your
legs and how she
neck.
was doing it so
That's the most action he's
professionally.
gotten in months, by the way, probably.
Oh. That's right.
So Jim, I want to know, because you have everybody after you took collab. And when you look at people you've collabed with, there's a certain type. You know how we date a certain type?
Yeah.
There's a certain type with Trisha, with Taya. that you collab, it's this strong woman type.
Yeah.
What makes you say yes to collab with somebody?
Well, I don't say yes to everybody. It's gotta be like, one, like I want to have to do it. Like I'm at the point where like I want to do it. You know, it's like I've done those years where it's just nonstop for no reason because I'm practicing and learning. Now I'm at the point where it's like, do I see a need that I can fulfill? Because not every writer is right for everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, one, I have to connect, and two, I have to go, can I
deal with this bitch in the booth?
Or can I deal with
But it's a strong
bitch in a booth?
That's what I'm talking about myself.
It's a strong female type that you're drawn to.
And I love that, and, you know, I've learned over, you know, my really long career, which he knows. I've known Dehler since I was 18.
You call him by last name?
Yes.
Wow. That's serious.
He was skinny as me when we met, girl.
He was skinny.
He was.
Yeah, and you're like everyone still says Dehler too, like from back then, because I just didn't correct anybody, so they always said it wrong, and I was like, it's easier to remember that way.
Yeah.
He kept going back and forth between your last name and your first name earlier, and I go, who are you talking about?
Yeah, we were in our kitchen and we were, you know, getting ready for On the Rocks.
We're doing our poison scorpions or whatever you call it.
Yeah, poison
But
honest.
the point is like I've learned through the decades that I've had in this industry is that every song gives a piece of me, and I don't have to give every great concept in my brain to someone just to write a song. You know, and then I love to listen to people and forward them in the right way. So I guess if I have a type, I have a type.
And we love you.
And they love her.
Honestly, he's so much.
Take you with open arms.
Yeah, and like I've, you know, obviously this new area of my career going into music is brand new and stuff.
It's
and
very naked to go into this kind of direction.
Especially,
you're
you know,
putting yourself out there in a whole different way.
Yeah, and I hadn't sang in front of people in years, you know, since literally being in junior high Cinderella musical. But like being friends with Jeremy and then like us coming up with the idea for the Christmas song last year and things like that, he made me so comfortable, and like I know that that's why people love to work with him, and I'm sure that's why you have these long relationships with Trish, with me, with different people, because you are like so giving to the person that you're collaborating with.
But he's not just a yes man too, because you can hire a
he
person and be
yells
like,
at me.
yes.
I'm not a yes man.
No, he's like
there's
banging
no
on
point in
the
that.
thing.
Like you want to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
You want to be challenged. Taya, I have to know, how do you go from doing ballet, then you started entering in fitness competitions, which kind of led into wrestling. How does that shift happen? What was that spark that you're like, wrestling's for me?
Well, I remember watching, I was picked on a lot growing up, and because I was like really short, I didn't hit puberty until I was like 17, 18 years old.
Can you imagine you at your reunion now, you're like, what?
Literally, I would just be like this.
What's the call point? Just like,
Holy moly,
I'll
by
just
the
be
way.
like,
Our ratings just went up with our straight crowd. Holy moly!
but like I watched wrestling.
I have two black eyes. Flippity flop over here.
Cheers to that one too.
Cheers. But I remember watching wrestling and seeing women like Victoria, Trish Stratus, Tori Wilson in the Attitude Era. And Trish Stratus is Canadian like me, and I remember watching them being like, these girls are first of all like so hot and powerful. And like to me it wasn't like, a lot of people look back on that era of wrestling and they're like, well, they're over sexualized and bra and panties matches, and I was just like, this is fucking sick. Like they're just beating each other up and they look hot and Barbie dolls and doing all this crazy stuff. So I kind of always was just like, I wish I could do that. I wish I could be that girl just for myself.
did you do that with your Barbie dolls as a kid? Just like,
Yeah, like, I
Did you do that with your Barbie dolls,
I had
Steven?
everything.
no, my Barbie dolls, they had to be rescued. Okay, I had the whole process.
Okay.
Rusty dolls. But like, I just remember just being like, I want to get into this because I feel like this is something that I want to try, and I don't know. It really transformed me and made me kind of like grow into like who I am when I finally figured out how to get into it, because it wasn't like how it is now, where like there's 1 million things online about and schools and you can really Google it and search it. I was just like, I don't know how to do this, so I guess I'm just gonna try and do what Trish and Tori did, which was doing fitness competition. So I was like literally at 19 being like, I'm just gonna do this, and I did it, and it actually like I won Canadian Nationals for fitness.
You won.
And then I went to the Arnold Classic. I got second place in the Arnold Amateur, and then I got called by WWE for my first tryout. So my weird plan actually worked.
It works.
And I'm like, I still to this day like don't know how I like pulled that shit off. But I'm like when I put my mind to something, I'm very like determined and I work really freaking hard. And so I just knew that I wanted to do this, and there was no other way. Like there was no way I was going to fail at that.
What did your parents say when you came out, so to speak, as a wrestler?
My mom was literally like, we spent all that money on ballet.
You have a tutu in the closet.
Yeah, like,
Shout out Lorraine.
Hurricane Lorraine, my mom. But like, they were kind of like in shock, but I had to, and also my dad is like not sporty. Like he would take me to the ballet and to the art exhibits. Like he doesn't understand any of that.
Yeah.
You're a little quiet European man, you know? And I had to just explain to it, like, this is like ballet. It is like Cirque du Soleil. It is like a stunts being done in a movie that you really love, but I'm just doing it live in my spandex with rhinestones on. But then once they came and
see the closet.
Yeah, when they finally started like coming to see my shows and they finally started understanding, they totally got behind it and realized that all that time, all those drives to the dance studio, you know, multiple times a week, really meant the world to me because it led me to where I am today.
Taya, we know as a ballet dancer, spotlight's on you. Ballet dancers have to keep their body to a certain norm.
Mm-hmm.
There's no outside the box with that. Then fitness competitions, it's literally all about your body. Having to condition your body, everything you put into your mouth to eat, and the training you have to do. Yeah. Then in wrestling, you're in the spotlight with all your fans, paying attention to every curve of your body. As a woman, and we know we all have body issues, but then your career is like triple that because it's literally all eyes on you. How have you dealt with body issues, that kind of psyche where your body is so important? Because that can be damaging.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and I've definitely struggled with that. I never had issues with like, you know, food or anything like that when I was in dance because first of all, like literally I was just like the tiniest little human ever. And like it really didn't start like getting to me was when I got into wrestling, when I started being on TV, when social media became what it is. You know, and as a woman, like you said, like, and I mean, this goes, I hear it from everybody across the board. Like people are fucking mean.
Yeah.
And say really horrible things. If it's not about your body or your boobs or your this or your that, or they don't like your hair color or
And wrestling fans are very vocal.
Yes, and very like they like get in tribes and like hate on the same person. And I've also been a villain on television my whole like career basically. So there's that aspect, but like you know, I did struggle, especially in Mexico, because I was taller, because I had broad shoulders. I was like, you know, like people would say awful things to me because I just looked different than everyone. And I really went through it and like had issues with like eating disorders and things like that. And it wasn't until I like, you know, several years later when I was able to be like, okay, like take care of myself, and I, you know, meeting my husband and moving to the States and like finding more stability, because that was such a crazy part of my life, that I kind of like own myself now. And I also like, especially in the last couple years, even like just since we've been friends, like I've really gotten to a place where I'm like, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I look fucking hot, and that's a you problem that you don't like how I look. So
That's a you.
So everyone else's opinion is none of your business.
Yes,
you know
it's none of my business. Isn't it like RuPaul that says like, she has a line like that where she said like, you know, like they're not paying my bills, so pay them no mind. It's very much that, and like it's the truth. Like I'm sorry that I really have come to a place with my body, with my attitude and everything, where I'm like, I love my life. I worked really freaking hard to get here. No one can take that away from me. I have the most wonderful friends, the most wonderful support system and husband and family, and like I just don't care. You know, if you don't like it, that's literally your problem. And like people are like, the other day we had like a meet and greet before AEW filmed TV, and some older man was just like telling my husband John, "Can you tell your wife I hate her hair?" And John was like,
so weird.
I haven't even heard this.
That is weird.
It's people are fucking crazy.
That is weird.
And
like, who has the balls to
John
even say that?
knows how I feel about this kind of stuff. So he goes, "Hey babe, like this guy doesn't like your hair." And this is I'm sorry, scraggly, Cheeto eating, basement dwelling troll man that came out of the light to go to a show. Which, I mean, thank you for coming.
And quick promotion where we wrote, "That's a you problem."
Comes from this conversation,
This
literally.
conversation.
That's how you empower something like that.
She told me about
Monday
an
skinny,
instance.
Tuesday fat. All
And
like
we
these
just had
lines.
this image of this guy behind with Cheeto fingers trolling her, and she goes, "This is really affecting me." And I go, "Okay, let's figure that out."
Yeah.
And so in her closet, where she does her own podcast, And she got us these bohemian pillows, and so we sit on these bohemian pillows and we write songs.
Yeah, and we talk about these troll-dwelling idiots. And then, so basically, John was like, "Hey, this
The
guy."
new EP from Taya Valkyrie.
Troll-dwelling idiots.
Troll-dwelling
Yeah, so
Very that.
he had
Very
crept
that.
out of his cave for one night only and decided to tell me that. And then John was just like, "Hey, he doesn't like your hair," and I went, "Oh my god, guess what? Here's the good news. I don't like your hair either." And he just like looked at me like, "Ugh,"
That's good.
like shocked, and I went, "Anyways," and then just like,
That's the weird thing, though. He probably went home and like was so excited by that.
or he
interaction.
went on the internet, like on his 75 Finsta accounts, and was just like,
Yeah.
you know,
He's
"Hey,
probably
bitch."
like,
She talked to me.
Yeah.
Well, you have to compare those type of people to dogs because it's like whether it's positive or negative attention, you're giving them
Yes.
attention,
Yeah.
and that's what they want.
And I had to learn
1000%.
that too with like all the online kind of stuff
Yeah.
and like the body image things because like people were saying like whatever all the time, and I was just like at one point I just had to be like, "Taya, you don't have to," because then they'd go on like their Twitter and write like, "Taya Valkyrie replied to me on this day," and da-da-da. And I'm like, "Oh my god, get a life,
Right.
touch grass, I don't know, whatever." And I'm so thankful for like
Get
because we
out.
have such amazing fans at AEW in wrestling in general, but you know like you cannot make everyone happy, and I just had to come to that realization because I'm a notorious people pleaser and psychotic about it. So it just kind of got to a place where I'm just like, it's okay that people don't like my gorgeous sunshine yellow hair because I just don't like theirs. So whatever.
And like I said, you empower it. You take that,
Yes.
and you flip the whole narrative. I want to talk about your very first study. So you studied with Lance Storm, a wrestler. He had like a wrestling academy or something,
Yes,
right?
the Storm Wrestling Academy.
What was like your first month like? What surprised you? What were you naturally good at? What were you like? Oh, I don't know if I can do this.
He actually really did not like that I looked like I was doing ballet all the time because I was pointing my feet and I looked too like elegant, and I'd be like very very too girly, I guess, quote unquote, and like I'd go up, they'd put me up for a move and my feet are pointed, my legs are straight, and I just look like I'm in the perfect like gymnastics pose. So I had to really learn to like relax, and even nowadays some people still will say, "Oh, I saw that, like look at that foot." Like that kick was just like perfectly turned out, and then no sickle foot and perfect. But like I'm like like that was the hardest for me. But a lot of it came quite easily because like I've been in athletics and the arts my whole life. So the acting stuff or just the basic like having to memorize little God, why am I can't even talk like sequences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but there's definitely, and also like just a lot of lingo and things. Like yes, I'd been a wrestling fan, but I was not like completely obsessed with it, whereas some people like literally that's all they know their whole life and they want to be a wrestler, whereas I was like, oh, that's cool, like Trish Stratus is hot, like I just want to be like her, like and so like I had to really learn like the psychology of it and like how you interact with fans to create reactions, and to be a villain you have to do this so that the good guy can get his comeuppance on you and things like that. So that side of it was also pretty hard.
That's one question I don't think I've ever asked you in all this is like, what was that turn? What made you want to transition from that type of movement to this type of movement?
I just thought it was cool.
All right, bitch. And you heard it here first. Put that
I
on a
just thought it was
Wheaties
cool.
box.
Yeah.
Put it on a Wheaties box.
I thought it was
okay?
cool. Yeah, I don't know.
So we know that the wrestling world is very macho. You
Yeah.
know, as many female stars that there are in the wrestling world, there's probably 10 of the male wrestling. I mean, we know. I mean, even me as
Yeah.
like John Cena and The Rock. Like I even know that.
Yeah.
It's part of mainstream culture. As a woman in this genre, what has your experience been? What have been some of your biggest obstacles, you think? And I don't know what happens behind the scenes in terms of sexual harassment, in terms of being paid equal, for male wrestlers. And
Sure, there's a lot of misogyny.
yeah.
Yeah, and like I feel
How
like
have you dealt with that?
I mean, across the board, even when you're starting out and you're making like $15 in a handshake or something, you know what I mean? Like you're not making like any money.
It's a gift card.
Here's a gift card. You did
Well.
great. Pat on the back and a bag of chips.
That's weird.
Like,
I get paid $15 and I
yeah,
a certain
but
kind of
like,
handshake.
and as you progress, obviously, right? Like you are pay, like the pay thing is always an issue, and it's always discussed
and you're
because we
putting
see
your
it.
body at the same risk.
Yeah, and we always, and especially now, it's a huge topic conversation because of the WNBA, for example. The women are not making the same money as the guys playing for the Lakers, and they've grown their popularity so much. And I think that that's what's really cool right now too, is just that like, because the fans are realizing and kind of getting behind us, and like through different movements and women empowerment, and people are starting to realize like, oh, these bitches can go, like, and people are coming to shows for us. I get like, everyone loves the guys too, but like at a certain point you have to realize like, we are bad bitches, and we are doing the exact same thing as you. We're doing the same training as you.
Just as important, just as
it also takes us like way longer to get ready because we have hair and makeup. Like,
you can just slap on like a
yes, I get in this argument all
They
the
do like
time.
tap, go.
It's just like, we work really, really, really hard, and I think there's been obviously we're still like, in certain situations like trying to argue or trying to fight for like equal pay, and different companies have different pay structures and all that kind of stuff. But like, right now you're really seeing that like the women are getting a chance to shine and getting more main event spots because the fans are asking for it, because we're that good. So I'm happy that like there is progress. Are we done? No. I don't think that you're ever done in these kind of situations, but I'm very happy to be part of that change, and having worked in different countries and experienced different types of people and different cultures, and like fighting for these kind of same things in different places. Like, yes, it is a lot better, but we're not done yet. As far as like sexual harassment and things like that, like, it's part of the course. Like, it's unfortunately something that we've all probably had to deal with, and I've even had fans grab me when I'm walking, like doing my entrance and things like that, and physicalities.
Which they would
and,
never
like,
grab a man. Like, that's so weird. Like,
yeah, like because especially because I'm a bad guy, or things thrown at me. Like, I'm like, this warm liquid is being thrown at me. Like, and then someone's like, it's probably someone peed in a bottle and threw it at you, and you go, great,
oh,
love that. Like, in Mexico, fans are crazy, but like, yeah, like you just all sorts of like really awkward situations that I've been in, that now as like a more mature and grown up person, that I'm like, oh my God, how did I survive that? Or how did I deal with it? And I'm like, if I had a daughter and she wanted to do this, would I let her? Like, like, it's really hard to kind of like wrap your head around, but like, I just took the good with the bad, and I never kind of like veered from who I am and like what I believe in and the end goal, right? I would get to one end goal and the mountain would get higher, kind of thing. So
I want to talk to you about your mental and physical health. As we already talked about, you put your body through just torture. Plus, that's what we see in the ring, but it's also the torture you put your body through in training.
Yeah.
But there's also the mental psyche. You have to boost yourself up, and you have to play your role at all times, because that's what your fans expect. You do this. You lived in Mexico for a while. You've traveled all over the place. You're on the go. How do you maintain your physical and your mental health?
Physically, I have kind of like a system now, and like the things that I do, and I like don't really lift heavy anymore. It's a lot of cardio-based body weight exercises, because that's what helps me be in the best ring shape, because that's, where I have to be able to perform in that moment. And for like, 5 to 20 minutes nonstop, and picking people up and falling down and going through a table and eating tacks, and like, I don't know. But like, I feel like the physicality part of it is actually quite easy, because it's just like I kind of have a routine. Mentally though, like it's very stressful. Entertainment as a whole, I think, is very stressful. I have major issues with anxiety on different occasions and things, and I've had days when I'm like super depressed, because it's like, you're just like, oh my God, very high and low, and like, I'm very happy like where we are right now in AEW and All Elite Wrestling, that they have mental health people there to talk to us if we are having a really bad day.
How important is that? And we're finally talking in the entertainment industry. We're finally talking about mental health, and organizations are actually, like you said, are providing that. How many decades have we been dealing with mental issues? But it's like now we're able to talk about it.
And it makes it just more comfortable for all of us, even with our peers and our coworkers, to talk about it. And you can be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, girl, this happened." I'm just really stressed, and everyone kind of just has a more like. More understanding, is more calm about it. No one's being judged. Yeah, like AEW has done a really good job of just really making people feel seen, feel comfortable, and know that like and we have doctors there obviously as well, and physical therapists and things like that, because like, your body and your mental health. If I'm mentally not in a position to do something, or I feel off, it's gonna show.
Yeah.
No matter how.
It affects your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to be on all the time, and I'm like this, and I'm like crazy, and and I have to make people hate me, but love me, but hate me, but love me.
Isn't that
and
a weird
it's like,
dichotomy?
Yeah.
Being the villain is, it's fun and cool, but there's also like, sometimes you're like, don't yell at me.
I'm like, I'm actually like really cool, guys. Like, stop.
I'm doing a really good job. Don't boo. Don't boo.
That's why, like, I try.
Boo.
Like, I try to just be like, Kira's my real name, and I'm like, Kira and Taya are two totally different people, and like, I'm a cusper, so I'm born like a Libra, a Scorpio cusp, and I always say that Kira is the Libra and Taya is a Scorpio to try and like separate
this is
them.
one of my questions is, how is Kira the person most different than Taya?
Kira's nice, Taya's a bitch.
The persona.
No, yeah, like I mean, I feel like Taya in a lot of aspects is like a lot of things that I feel like I would want to be like she has so much confidence and like she just does everything with like her shoulders back and doesn't give a shit, you know what I mean? Whereas Kira's more sensitive and can take things, you know, to heart when I don't, you know.
Kira's my sister.
Hi.
This is what I love
That's
about
my fear.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, I was like,
when I was
about
drunk
to
in
ask
the
you, I was like,
pool.
are you afraid of her?
I was
I'm scared.
I'm like, I've never been tired. I've never been envied.
But when
you
I was
know?
like drunk in the pool making you do ranas with me, like Taya was like,
Oh, but I asked
Creep
for
it
that, right? Like, I've
Yeah.
never been scorned by Taya.
she creeps
you
out
know?
every so often. She creeps out. you
So,
know?
but this is what I love about like the morning after, like the music video. We get to see your quirky personality. We get to see your comedic, you know, acting chops, and it's so fun to see you in that environment. Also with your podcast, you know.
Yes.
I don't like this. We get to see that different side of you.
Yeah.
Jeremy, when you're working with an artist who has a certain personality, how do you break through that so that you can be like, hey, drop the persona because we're going to be creative together? How do you earn that trust? How do you break through that shell?
I
And
don't know.
and so this is a two-part, because you must feel that when, like, oh, I'm going to be singing and all that, you probably even want to double down on the persona to be like, I'm me. So
Yeah.
how did you break through that shell?
Go first, sir.
I don't know if you
Ma'am.
actually break.
Ladyboy.
Bleach 10.
Girl, those threads are,
Okay, Dehler.
those threads are being stretched today, by the way.
Oh, girl, they hurt.
Can you imagine if something snaps?
Sorry. You know you're going to laugh when you hang out
I'll
with me.
laugh.
No, I hate it. I don't. Listen, I don't like go in trying to earn trust from people. Again, what I was saying is like, you connect or you don't. I understand that now, and you like learn their story. Obviously, we became friends, and then she said she wanted to do music. The way that I meet other people is through like they need a new song, and I go in and I listen to their stories and I create. It's interesting though, yeah, everyone puts on a persona, and music, it's all authentic. But like even me, I came up with BleachX because I was
Bleach
so Bleach 10, as she says, because I was so
His
I
grinder
was
is
so,
bleached 10 inches. That's what his grinder says. Not verified, by the way. There's no verification check on that one.
Steven hasn't even seen my penis for 20 years.
God.
Sorry, we went there. We almost shamed her last night. Anyways,
Now this took a turn.
no, I
That's
did.
not
But
Oprah.
no. But it's God. We were having such a serious conversation.
This is what we do. This is what we do. This is how we
But
do.
this is art. I think like some things are so fluid, and there's got to be a connection, and you have to somehow find a way to connect with a story,
Yeah.
whether it's you or you. And it's been her, but you know, I've gotten to know her. She's one of my best friends. She has saved my life literally after what happened. She was the one who came and carried me and took me to her house and like protected me. But when someone says, I want to do music, it's almost a kiss of death.
Yes, it is.
It really is, because I'm
I
like,
walked right into the fire.
oh my God, are you going to give me a CD? I don't even have a
But
CD
no, that's
player.
it. Well, and in the queer community, all of our friends have a single. Like literally, it's like
Every single person I know.
Yeah, and it's
Every
like,
And
single
it's
person.
like,
so it is
A moment of passion.
it is that
this
moment
is
of
how I
like-
feel about it. Oh, okay. But when I get to work with an artist who like knows how their body is, how their mind is, and the story she wants to tell, and I find there's something there I can do, like I wouldn't have said yes to her had I not thought something was there.
Yeah.
Because I
There is
didn't
a
know.
brain in here.
You
And
know?
your name
But
is on it,
she's
too.
so talented, and my name's on it too,
Yeah.
right? And it's just so cool to like learn that aspect of them, because this is something that's completely different from Kira or Taya. This is a passion. This is a love. This is a story
It's
and an
Kataya.
outlet. You know, it's
Kataya.
You know,
Kataya.
a new a third persona.
And it's really interesting to like deal with stuff like that. But I love it, and you just have to know how to What's right? What's wrong?
What was that first meeting like? Taya, did you feel like when he walked in the room that you had to kind of set the standard with your persona? Or
For when we first worked on music
the
together?
very first time that you like sat down.
Well, I remember like everything starts with, well, we were having drinks. What he said was, but when we
She's a
started
rock
like
star
writing LA Christmas, we were literally just out and like just spitballing ideas and stuff. It was very chill, and then we came up with it over the course of like I can't even really remember like how we finalized
I think it was
it.
it was in like fun talking, and then I went to the studio and I wrote the song and I did the demo.
And Bobby Blueberry, my co-host, came up
Yes.
with the Ho Ho Hollywood line.
And I was
that
like,
we used.
oh, I see a through line now.
Yeah. And then when I went to record with him the first time, I literally dressed up in like a pop star outfit because I was like, I have to get in
You're
this like
assuming it's the costume. Like when
Yeah.
you step into the ring, your
Yes.
costume, your makeup is
and
part of the
clothing
character.
and like I said,
Yeah.
clothing and makeup and hair and that whole like it's not only my armor that I put on when I become Taya, but it also just transforms me and gives me a vibe, and it kind of like, and I love all that aspect of it so much. So I knew that would help me kind of like get in the mood, and I did, and like that's kind of just been the thing we do now all the time. But when I performed for the first time, when was that? Like a month ago?
Yeah.
And I got like Jake Gonzalez to come and help me, and Scarlett Bobo learn the dance, and like we performed at the Wild in
How
West
fun,
Hollywood.
but how scary too.
Oh my God! Everyone's like, "You need to relax. Like, why are you nervous? You do this all the time." I go, "Bitch, this is not the
This
same
is
thing."
so different.
Yeah.
I'm singing.
I was like, "Oh my God!"
It's a different muscle. You're
Yeah, and I was just like, everyone is so like when I'm at TV or when I'm wrestling, like I'm looking above people's heads or I'm looking at the camera directly. You know what I mean? And this, I'm like. I can see you breathing. Like you're so close to me, and I'm just and yeah, like it just like and I
And it's
also
in West Hollywood. We know half the gays are
all
blitzed
our
out of their mind, and
friends,
they
like-
could be mean.
and it was just like, but honestly, it was so freaking cool.
Oh, God.
Like everyone was so.
I wasn't invited, so I don't know.
Well, you'll be
I
invited
think
to the
you
full
were.
concert
Check
when
the
that comes.
text.
Yeah. But
Send the receipt.
I was really nervous and stuff, but it was honestly like such a positive experience, and everyone was super supportive, and like obviously Scarlett
dead.
and I are best friends, and like having her be like part of it, and like we all like just had created like this moment, and I'm proud of myself for doing it. I'm such a perfectionist that even after that I was like, okay, but like that could have been better, this could have been better, and I start nitpicking everything. But I did like he was like, just like take
Sit
this
in the
moment,
moment.
stop being a psychopath.
Present. Cool.
Like, stop it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome though.
Now, when in the wrestling world did that click for you? That just like your performance at Wild, you were like, okay, like I'm now a professional wrestler. I have my fans. When did that moment of realization come to you? That like, yeah.
I don't know if I'd ever like if there was like a specific moment. I feel like when I like moved to Mexico and like was living there and working for AAA from
And you were just supposed to be there for like a short time, right?
yeah, I was supposed to be for 5 weeks. I stayed 5 years.
How crazy is that?
Learned Spanish, literally.
I'm
like,
telling you, you go down
Yeah.
to Mexico City with her. It's like,
Yeah.
And, like,
But it's a whole different culture out there.
Yeah, and I think the moment that I was most like, okay, like this is where I'm meant to be. This is like what I'm supposed to do. Is when I won my first championship in AAA because I was the first non-Mexican born woman to do it. I was also like, everyone told me like, you're never gonna be champ, blah blah blah. Like it was constant berating me, just being like, you're not good enough, you're not this, da 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 da. And so when I finally did it, even like got my nose broken in the match and everything, and I was kind of like creating my own little moment in history within the Lucha Libre community, and that just meant the most to me because I feel like that's when I kind of was like, okay, I actually did it. They said I couldn't do it. I'm doing it, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm meant to be here. Like,
I absolutely love that. And we have a lot of entertainment folk that listen to the show, and it's like, how many times do we hear like you just have to challenge yourself?
yeah, I was not taking the no. I was not taking that.
If
That's
you
the
want
biggest
to
story
say
we
no
hear
to
from-
it, then you should do it.
Yeah. Like I was just like, people were literally like my roommate at the time literally was like, girl, you're never gonna be champion, da 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 da. You're from Canada. Like, you really think they're gonna do a Lucha Libre championship on you? You stupid blonde girl. Like all this like it was some mean shit that people were saying to me, and I was just like, whatever, kind of like brush it off. And I would show up every day. I would do what I had to do. I was taking 18-hour bus rides and eating OXO bacon wrapped hot dogs. You know, like I was poor. Had shitty hair extensions. Like I was just
But the passion's that.
Yeah,
like,
and I just
that's what sets people. So many influencers want to be famous, and I'm sure influencers reach out to you like, "How do I be famous?" And it's like, well, that's not the point.
That's not it, yeah.
What is your passion?
And I just like would not take no for an answer. And I feel like when I won that first championship, I think that was the moment that I was like, okay, I'm supposed to be here. Like, this is the universe is telling me, and I very much believe in like, you know, good energy and projecting like the things that you want and manifesting, but also you have to do the work.
I see this as like a big screen movie where you're in Mexico and you have your suitcases.
Listen,
and
I'm
there's a
writing a
scene where your
book.
nose.
Like-
that's
Yeah.
Amazing. And being a wrestler, it's not like, you know, so many people want to be an actor. So there's a field of actors out of work that can support each other, that understand each other's struggle. Like, you know, they're waiters and they're like, oh God, I missed this audition. Being a wrestler, it's like, where's your support group? Even as close as your family might be or your friends, they don't understand that culture.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, I was lucky to become very good friends with, like, I had friends like Phoenix and Pentagon and Daga. Phoenix and Pentagon are now in WWE. Absolutely killing
You could be a
it.
drag queen with all these names, by the way.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Don't push
but I had
her.
like a really cute, like really good, especially towards the end, like group of really supportive friends because we were all in this group together. And Pero Aguayo, who had handpicked us, he ended up passing away, and it kind of brought us like closer together. And we all kind of like continued from AAA into Lucha Underground and working at Impact together and working at AEW together. And then it wasn't until like you know, like it's hard to make friends in wrestling, especially with girls sometimes because everyone's just trying to. It's a competition, and I'm so not like a politicker. I just can't be bothered. I just want to go and be told that you're good, so you're gonna get that part or like whatever, right? And so like I'm lucky that I was able to find some really wonderful friends along the way, and you know, meet my husband, and then also you know, now living in LA, I have lived here for 7-8 years now, and like the group of friends that we have. Our family, basically, we're all just so supportive of each other, and we all do such different things, and we're all just like, "Girl, you can fucking do it!" Like it's always like so. We're all so supportive, and everyone's so different and doing different things. But when you find your tribe, you know.
All right, let's talk about your husband, John Morrison. He's a wrestler. The two of you were paired up before you were in love. You fell in love while playing the part of a couple, right?
Yeah, he wouldn't leave me alone.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you blame him?
Yeah. Even gay guys are like, oh, okay. So explain that because you were paired up to be like the ring couple.
Yes.
When did things shift that it turned into real life?
Well, I remember like being paired with him, and I was like, because I had been told that I was going to be a totally different kind of character on Lucha Underground, and then I got there, and they're like, no, you're going to be in a group. You're with PJ Black, Jack Evans, and his name on that show was Johnny Mundo, and I was like, Johnny Mundo, like John Morrison? Because I always thought he was hot. Like I remember watching him on TV and being like,
really? You had a
yeah.
before.
Like I literally made jokes to my friends being like, oh my God, he's so hot. And my friends remembered.
How crazy is
Yeah,
that?
I was like, whoa, manifesting.
Yeah.
Manifested that. Haha. Yeah, and then I said, well, I got paired with him, and then I didn't really I didn't know if we were supposed to be like a couple or if we were just buds. And I remember like one of the first backstage segments we did, I literally asked him, and he can tell you this, like he's like, you were literally like, are we friends? Are we like in love with each other? Do we flirt with each other? Do we not? Like, and he was just like, I think that we're just like kind of friends. And I was like, okay, bro.
He was just maybe being like a gentleman, maybe.
Right,
Yeah.
he was
I was
doing
like,
underplaying his excitement.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then as the show went on, this man was following me all over set, and like everyone would be like, he's circling the makeup chair like the shark again.
Like a little puppy dog.
Yeah. And like my friend Phoenix and Pentagon were on that show with me too, and they were always like, I remember one time he came and like sat with all of them. And they were like, we were on season 1 and that man did not talk to us. Now you're sitting here and now he will not leave us alone and he's inviting us out to dinner. He wants to bang you.
You could have played the romantic route, but you're like, no, he wants to bang you.
No, like
Why is that not romantic?
My
He wants to bang
friends-
you.
My friends
Welcome.
were not
Two
holding
things can be
back.
true at once.
Yeah, they were not holding back. And then like we
I'm
ended
gonna
up
need a
just kind
flash
of
for
like
that.
we ended up just kind of like he was flirting with me and I was flirting with him and we ended up just
What was that moment? Was it, did you both decide, oh, let's go out to dinner? Or was it, what was the first kiss?
I mean, I remember
The first real kiss, not the stage kiss.
I'm trying to like.
She's giving you family tea right
specifically,
now,
I'm
bro.
like,
I'm
I
all for it.
The first like real date that he took me on, like I was also still living in Mexico City at the time, and he always jokes about how like I was excited to see a Trader Joe's.
They have Trader Joe's in Mexico?
No, they
Oh.
don't. And in
It's
Canada,
good.
they don't. And my mom always loves Trader Joe's.
It's so
and,
good.
and I
Eat
remember
it every day.
Better.
He took me to like Volcano in Hollywood or something, and I was like, oh my God, there's a Trader Joe's and sushi. That's so cool. And he always makes jokes. He's
the
like,
Crescent Sunset.
yeah, and he's just like, now he's like, look at you. You have a house in West Hollywood, 2 little Pomeranian dogs. You're just making music. And before you were excited
2
about
Pomeranians?
Trader Joe's.
That's
yeah.
very LA of
Yes.
you.
I lean into it. I am creating my own fantasy over here.
And John keeps trying to poach me to do his album.
I know. No.
Calm down, bitch.
Calm
Like,
down.
we only have one diva in a house at a
Yes,
time.
please.
Okay, but what was that first real kiss?
I mean, I think it was good.
No, like
What was it? What was the situation?
Yeah, when? Yeah, was it over dinner? Was it?
Yeah, I think
backstage?
it was probably like right after that dinner and stuff. And then we started hanging out more. We ended up like, because I would stay at we would stay at like this one hotel downtown called the Hilton Checkers. Do you guys
On
know
the
what hotel
rocks.
that is?
Yes, of course.
And it's across from the Biltmore.
Yes. So the Hilton Checkers. I've spent a weekend there with many. Yeah.
A friend.
Yeah, a friend. It's the
yeah.
perfect hotel for that.
Yeah, so that's where they
I
would,
love that hotel.
Where they would put us up, like for when we were filming. All the people that weren't from LA would stay in that hotel, but we didn't want people at work to know that we were hooking up. So we ended up
They
actually.
always know.
But they all knew.
Oh my God! Like later on,
Like
they were
the
just
day
like,
one. Day one,
they're,
they
they're
knew.
just
They
like,
knew.
you're an idiot, Taya. Like we all fucking knew. Like what are you talking about? And then like we ended up spending the night at the Biltmore, and in the morning,
The Biltmore is gorgeous.
gorgeous. The morning, we were like, we have to get back to. I have to at least because he lives in LA, born and raised. He was gonna go back to his apartment to get his stuff, and I was like, I gotta get in the hotel before anyone wakes up. Of course, we're like walking through the lobby, and one of our friends, Brian Cage, totally busted us. And he's like, "Where are you guys going?" And I was like, "The gym." And Cage.
Likely scenario.
Cage has like been our friend, like, and we're still like very good friends with him and his wife.
The gym.
And he was like
mean,
literally just like
same.
this, like right, like and like it just kind of went
That's so
from
funny.
there. So
The Biltmore is where you take your spouse. Checkers is where you take your.
mistress.
Yeah, that's literally it. And you can walk back and
I
forth
feel like you
and take
need
them
to be
out.
questioned
right now. Yeah.
So Alexander, where'd you learn that?
But yeah, that was how it
Checkers.
started, and then like a real what he calls like our first date
Yeah.
was like we went and did press in New York, and he actually took me to go see the original cast of Hamilton.
Because he knew your theater and all.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so we went to Hamilton, and we were there all week, and that was kind of like when we were like, oh yeah, like we're like
This
together
is
now.
it.
Yeah.
Who proposed to
He
who?
proposed to me in Santa Monica on the beach,
Mm-hmm.
and we got married a year later.
So there's that romance part. There's, actors fall in love on set.
Mm-hmm.
What is the reality, though, of both of you in the wrestling industry? Because there's separate pressures and there's pressures together.
Mm-hmm.
How do you maintain a healthy relationship when you're kind of both from the same?
Yeah, and like it is fun because like I am obviously never like alone, which could be good and bad. Like
Yeah.
we travel together, we
That
stay in a
could
hotel together.
sometimes
like,
not
we have
work
to-
out.
Yeah, and like there's been moments where our characters are not associated with each other. There's been a lot of there was a time on AEW when I was doing a completely different thing, and now we're back together. And it can be like we obviously are artists, and we have like conflicts of like ideas and butt heads
And
about
passions,
things.
and like you said, ups and downs.
yeah,
with,
priorities and different
and
things.
depression of like, I just want to be alone. all that.
But like honestly, like I wouldn't want to work with anybody else. Like I trust him. I know he's gonna watch my back. He's always like been my number one fan, and he's so loving, accepting, has such an open heart. He's such a golden retriever. Like he loves everyone and just wants everyone to thrive. And I'm so lucky to have found, I don't know how, a born and raised an LA boy who's just genuinely like a very good soul.
Yeah.
So.
Well, born and from LA doesn't mean that, like, people that move to the LA conform, and they're the issues. The ones that are born in LA are a little bit different.
Yeah, he's born and raised here, parents still here, so yeah.
All right, let's talk about I Don't Like That podcast. Every
Yes.
time I say it, I have to say it just like that, by the way.
Oh wait,
I don't like that.
I came to support.
Oh, turn it around. There we go.
There we go. We need hats.
I hate to say it, but I do like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that podcast.
Yes,
You
we
need
do.
hats.
But you guys have flasks, and now I want flasks.
Yeah.
Me and Bobby are gonna have to talk about
do we
this.
get to take that?
For $49.99.
Babe, Venmo.
Yeah.
Flask about it.
what I love about the podcast, we just see you just relax. We see you with Bobby.
Yes.
And we also get to see your kind of affection for the LGBTQ community.
Yes.
Again, coming from the wrestling world, queer representation is not the biggest in wrestling. What was kind of your first exposure to the queer community, and how have you cultivated your role as an ally?
I feel like when I was wrestling in Mexico, a lot of people don't realize this, that there are drag queen wrestlers.
Yes.
And so I was like...
A lot of people do not know that.
Yeah, and they're called exoticos. And I was, always having matches with, like, for example, Pimpinela Escarlata, who's, like, an absolute legend, wonderful human, Mamba, like a bunch of them, and like I was always kind of like working with them, and so I was around a lot of exoticos all the time. And then obviously the most common thing is like, oh, I watched Drag Race, or I was saw drag shows. My mom actually took me to like one of my first drag shows ever because her grandmother and mother went together to their first drag show.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So
She's fabulous.
My mom.
She's mine.
Yeah. My mom.
She's more into Mexicans than whites. All of a sudden I know Spanish.
Yeah.
We're taking applications.
Yeah, my mom.
Wow. I know what you got by your leg.
Yeah, my mom.
Meanwhile, John is at home.
He's like, oh my God, watching this guy.
Yeah.
These
oh
guys.
God.
But yeah, my mom took me to is it Pieces in New York? The drag bar Pieces?
That's insane to me.
Yeah, and I watched my first drag show there with her. And I mean, I've just always been inspired by people who are organically themselves.
Yeah.
Because I feel like also I've always kind of felt like an outsider, and I've always felt like people are like, she's a little weird, or she dresses weird, or she has weird, she just likes different things. I'm not cookie cutter. I'm not beige, okay? Like I have layers. Yeah. I have layers, and I'm influenced by so many beautiful people and things and places that I've been. And so, when I am around my queer, wonderful friends, they inspire me all the time because I just think that watching them thrive and it's gonna make me emotional. Watching them thrive and watching them be so organically themselves is so powerful, and it like empowers me.
Well, I have to tell you, for you being so open about your allyship, having so many fans from the wrestling world, you're progressing our representation through being an ally. Your openness to being so connected to the Mexican drag community, that's you being a trailblazer and being such a great ally. So
thank you.
we thank you. You doing your podcast, I mean, that's...
And Bobby Blueberry is like so sweet.
We love Bobby Gomez.
We love
He's
him.
so sassy.
He's very sassy.
Bobby is sassy. You met Bobby. You met Bobby.
Oh, yeah. But no,
I've never met Bobby.
You've never met Bobby?
Mm-mm.
Well,
Bobby
we'll have to have you on the pod.
Used to run the Wild?
Yeah.
He managed the Wild a long time ago.
I've only passed out at the Wild.
Maybe that's why you haven't met Bobby.
The lights are on, but nobody's home.
Yeah. And I just love being able to do my podcast with Bobby. Like we have, we grew up in totally different places. We have so many things that are so different, and then so many things that are so common that we can talk about. And like, I'm always the one that comes with the facts, and he's just over here like, talking.
Doing the
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, and I just love our energy together. We work together on every aspect of it. We have meetings every Monday to like do our uploads and talk about the social media posts and doing this and doing that and what we want to do. And
Jeremy's outside the window like
he'll like
so
come
jealous.
over. He has our location. He's like, "What are you guys doing?
Yeah,
what are you guys
We
doing?"
all have each other's locations, and we're like, "Where are you
That's
at?"
so weird to me when
you're
friends
right.
do that.
Yeah, and he's like,
No,
"You're at Bobby's
that's
house.
weird to me.
You're at
We have
Bobby's?"
a group chat called Sparkle Coven, and the power of 3 will set you free. And
It's complicated.
Okay, Charmed, calm down.
Earrings are charmed earrings.
Yeah.
Come on,
Our
Charmed.
literal, we have jerseys that say Sparkle Coven on them. We're very committed to the bit.
That's a little cultish, which I want to join.
no, they are.
I want to join.
Yes, come over.
I can imagine this.
We are a
You're recording your podcast. I can imagine it outside.
Oh my God.
Oh no, I'm like, I'm 5 minutes away. I just got done with my session. I'll show up after.
And we're
Cocktails
both on our
ready.
laptops, like at Bobby's
well,
house, like working.
according
And
to
he's
your
like,
Find
"What are
My."
you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that.
And we all
oh, I
have
like that."
keys and
Like,
codes to all of our houses, and it's just like, boop, boop, boop. Hi.
That I get, but the location, no.
The
I don't
location
care.
thing
How
doesn't
close I am
bother
to
me.
something,
It
doesn't matter
really doesn't
location.
bother me because
No,
I feel like we just.
It's like a safe thing. That's
Yeah.
how I feel about locations. It's like a safe thing.
It doesn't bother me.
Right?
I don't know. Maybe you're like.
So we need to have a round table about locations. Is what you're
It doesn't
talking
bother
about.
me, and like when I don't know where someone is, and I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, you're at the studio. Like I know because I'm like,
Yeah.
if I need to.
He's
talk
in the
to
middle
him,
of nowhere.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Yeah, or sometimes they're like,
yeah.
both
He's
like, oh my
recording.
God, what the hell are you doing in Milwaukee?
not where his body
like, 'cause,
is.
like, I'm traveling all over the country, but yeah, no, we're just. Yeah,
For me,
he
I'm
just-
like on Mondays. I'm just like I don't want to know anyone. I don't want to talk to anyone.
He's
on
a hermit on
Monday is my
Mondays.
day
on
off.
Mondays. So I'm like that
If
just
I wanna
feels
talk to-
invasive to me. I'm like, don't you dare know where I am.
She knows Mondays.
We are on
I
your
will
sofa.
turn my location off on a Monday. Monday is my.
That's his day too.
Yeah, I literally like because
That's bar culture.
Remember,
That
That's
Sunday
bar
fun day took me
culture.
out.
remember I used to have like Fat Girl Mondays, and it would just be like eating as much food as you could. It's a pH fat, okay? Like fat. Remember Fat Tuesday or whatever?
Like fat ass with
Stop
pH.
right now.
pH. So I know if I want to talk to him on a Monday,
you won't.
I could text him 911 on a Monday and nothing. But if I show up as a DoorDash driver with Panda Express, the door
I'm
is
there.
wide
Come
open.
on
He's like,
in.
welcome in.
What do you got for me?
So Ty, I want to talk about the shift from music. Music and performing has been a part of your life since
Forever.
forever. So why now music? What was it you're like, okay, now it's time to come out with a single and do a music video. Why now? What was that?
I got bored. No, I just like love challenging myself. And like
Yeah.
I said, what makes our friend group so cool is because we all are artists and we all love working together as well. And so when I became friends with Jeremy or when I, became friends with Bobby and we all kind of love these same things and we're sharing each other's passions with each other, it makes it exciting to try something like, listen, I grew up on Britney Spears and the Spice Girls. I wanted to be Christina Aguilera, like
I'm like, you're singing
Jessica
my tunes.
Simpson. What do you like? Backstreet
be my love.
Boys. So it's been like written in the stars for me to have done a pop thing at some point, and like I am enjoying it. I'm having so much fun. I can't wait to do more. I just got signed to new management with Carousel, with Kat and Sam, and like we're gonna be putting out a new Christmas song coming up with a new music video, and then we're gonna be working on a new EP in the new year. So booked and busy.
Yes, book blessed.
That is amazing.
I commit. I commit.
Also, for the gays, if you have your sound notifications on Grindr until September 22nd,
It's Christina Aguilera.
It's Christina Aguilera.
I actually
hear about
saw.
this?
Yes, I saw someone like, a post about it on one of the
It doesn't go.
accounts I follow on
It
Instagram.
goes. It's her song.
Turn yours on and turn your sound on.
So you get-
Dehler, turn yours on and turn your sound on.
I don't have Grindr anymore.
Well, download it, girl.
He doesn't need it. Trust.
I'll hear it later. I'll just use your phone.
I was like, I haven't used, I haven't
Oh, wait, you
used
left your phone at
Grindr.
home.
I left my phone out.
But there's also that moment of like your fans want you to be a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
We hate, for some reason, we as a society hate when our entertainers do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when J-Lo first did music? We were like, and then we're like, oh, we love her, and now I guess we hate her. I have no
Can't
clue.
keep up. Yeah.
So, what did your wrestling fans think about when you're like, oh, I'm releasing a single? Because, like we said, a lot of people just put out some auto-tune piece
Yeah.
of shit.
I mean,
Morning After is not that. It
Oh,
is such
thank
a
you.
fun pop. Because I was like, oh, I've been there too.
Yeah. I mean, it was really interesting just to see an experience, just to like, how do I word this? It was interesting and kind of disappointing in certain aspects because I felt like a lot of people were just obviously dismissive of it and not like, they're like, oh, she's just doing something stupid again. It's Taya,
Yeah.
right? And then like I think that as time has gone on, wrestling fans are becoming more and more supportive of it, and my peers also, not my like direct group of friends, which they have to like it, but like just everyone else too that I work with and stuff now are just like, oh no, she's like really doing this, and like I said, like I don't ever half-ass anything, and like I really don't like. Going back to like the self-confidence and being who I want to be and being my organic self. And I've always just been creative and I get bored and I like making things and I like playing all this with my friends. Basically, it's like, it's not a job for me. It's fun. And I feel like that's the essence of what being an artist is. Everything should be fun. And music brings me joy. So I should do it.
And it takes confidence. It takes confidence to put yourself out there in a different way. And I have to
being
tell
a
you,
little bit psychotic, but
aren't all entertainers?
yes.
I'm not
Not
to tell
me.
you, your hosting skills are so good. When you're like around town, you're like, I was like, oh damn, she's good. Oh,
thank you.
Even that is like, dude, I'm tired. I'm reporting from Ethiopia.
Yeah.
I'm like wherever I can see you anywhere.
Hello, AEW fans, and welcome to Making Towns with Taya Valkyrie.
Yes. Yes. You really are very talented. It's
Thank
such
you.
a joy to get to meet you and get to know you.
Thank you. I'm very happy to talk to you guys, and Jeremy always speaks so highly of you both, and so it's an honor for me too.
So I have no idea what our timing is.
Nope.
Oh, we got to wrap things up. But Jeremy, your aspect from music, and let's all chime in on this. The VMAs were very queer.
Yeah.
But I also have to say, and I don't know if it's just me getting older, I was like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that?
Well, yes. You're getting older.
Did you even watch them?
I did.
You're such a liar.
I did. I watched.
I didn't get to watch all of them because I think I was traveling, but I watched like parts of it.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't watch it fully, but I watched it when I was working at the club because they were playing it at the club.
Yeah.
And then I watched like all the performances. Yeah.
That's what I want to see,
What
anyways.
What's the other half to that?
So the question is, it just seems that we have less and less like music legends. They honored Ricky Martin. For him to get the first Latin Icon Award as a queer man is huge.
Yeah.
Queer presence was a lot at VMAs. But in terms of the rest of the performers and the guests and the red carpet people, and I did like Google. I'm like, I still don't know their songs.
Did you hear the Madonna drama?
No.
That she didn't want to present to Lady Gaga?
What? No.
No, I don't believe that for a
I
minute.
don't believe that.
I feel like
No.
that was an old thing, right?
Yeah.
Like
Was Madonna at the VMAs?
No.
I just watched the performances after. I'm not gonna.
I don't
lie.
think Madonna wants to be seen in live.
She's bringing a new album.
So, but my question is, are we having less and less music legends? And what
Yeah.
does the future of music look like?
Taya.
Yeah.
One Taya. Try not to shoot myself in the foot here.
No, and you don't have to. But
look,
when Michael
you know,
Jackson
there's-
takes the stage, and Britney, and Gaga, and like.
Yeah. We don't live in a generation anymore where people cling on to inspiration and hook onto life stories, and it's so fast, right? That's we lost that with TikTok, and Meghan Trainor was the last signed artist that I believe was made that way.
She looks great, by the way.
She looks really good.
Moving on. Oh God. And I love Tate's performance. I think Tate is a huge performer, and she is landscaping over what it looks like to be from
Canadian
an
girly,
influencer.
too.
And Canadian. We know they make good Canadians there, but there's not good food in Canada.
Oh,
so.
relax.
There's maple syrup.
Dino Nugget boy.
What's
But
that about?
poutine, I don't like sauces. I don't like textures. No, yeah, I agree with
Hello,
you.
Poutine.
Yeah, but I can't do the poutine.
Texture. I have a texture phobia.
First time I heard my song in a club was
Not at the bathhouse, I'll tell you that much.
But I agree with you. It's hard to see like what the future of longevity of music is because everything is just so fast burned, and it's like
But fans are
It's
not
because it's
loyal
TikTok,
anymore.
right? Everyone wants a 15, 30-second clip.
It's
Yeah.
quick.
yeah, and that's why we've made songs from 3.5 minutes to like now it's 2 minutes.
How
That's the
insane
worst.
is
You can't
that?
even get
It
into
is.
So
it.
I'm in there and like I want to do all these parts when I'm doing like something that's for an American artist and it's like 2 minutes, great. 2:30, pushing it. You know, and then I have other artists who are like, I don't care, I want to do old Britney Spears stuff. Take it what you want from who it is. And then when I work on like international stuff, like I'm working on a Mexican boy band right now, they want a 4-minute song. When I do K-pop, they want 80 different sections.
Yeah.
They want 4 minutes.
They're telling the story.
They
100%. And their
because they
fans
want
will
to do the
follow them
music
for the whole
video.
story.
K-pop is like early 2000s.
Yeah,
style.
and I was right there at the start of the K-pop movement, and I was having this conversation the other night. Like, it's so funny how it's all white people in LA that are writing all the K-pop songs, but not now because they're doing Western. But when I was doing it, when I got all my plaques, was very cultural. K-pop, J-pop. Now Mexico is doing M-pop, which I'm working on.
What?
M-pop.
It's coming,
Yeah, no,
girl.
I just
thought
found
that
out
was-
this
I
yesterday.
I just
was
told
like,
her about this
what?
last night.
I thought that was
Hello, you
M-pop.
went to, I mean, can you imagine going back to Mexico City with an M-pop?
I mean, I should be on their M-pop band CD.
Yeah.
The what?
Taya Valkyrie should be on the Christmas Mexican pop band.
Oh, 1,000%.
Why not?
Do it with Ricky Martin.
But yeah, so to your point, I don't know what the future of music looks like.
I just think the fans are just so fickle. You know, like we love Chappell Roan because Pink Pony Club. Then we heard a little grumblings about her, and then we're like, oh, she's canceled. If
She's
Lady,
like a Paula Deanna. She's a one-hit wonder. She's gone.
but if Lady Gaga were to shave her head and have a meltdown in West Hollywood, all the gays would laugh at her.
Yeah.
But it's like, how much has Lady Gaga done for the community, whether you like her music or not? We as fans are just
Agreed.
so ready to rip people down. We talked about Lil Nas X and his breakdown
Oh, yeah.
last time. It's like, we forced him to push the envelope on our behalf to celebrate sexuality. And then he has a little breakdown. We all have
Listen,
gone
pressure
down the street in
is
our
a
underwear, by the way.
pressure is a very
We've all-
interesting
Yeah.
demon. We all get to make our own choices. The way that people listen is not like when they used to listen to a Michael Jackson or a Janet album or a Britney album and listen to a whole experience. So it's not the artist's fault. Look, the artist gets all the doors open and they make their own personal choices. That's their fault. What we've done is we've gone into like, I need it now, I want it now, let's move it on culture. And that's a consumer fault.
We just know too much about our artists because of social media. We know
Yeah. The
what they
mystery.
ate and all that. Like, we knew Judy Garland had a problem with drugs and booze, but everybody went out to support. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
taking an old
Yeah.
school star, but that's just it. We know too much about our...
Well, it's about accessibility. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
everything needs to be 15 to 30 seconds long. I mean, that's why, like, the death of the music video. That's what Lizzo was talking.
Yeah.
She had posted this whole video the other day, and if you watch the video, she breaks it down really simply. It's like, there was one point where artists were doing like $1 million music videos because that would
People loved it and
that would push the album. That would push. I mean, we had Vimo and all that stuff, Vemo, whatever the fuck. And then
I think there needs to be a conversation of like people are doing the same things as they are, they're just doing it on a different level. You know, like everyone's all making mistakes and fucking up too. Why is it so easy to point to an artist's mistakes at Beyonce or Gaga? Like, where is that? And then where does like the artistry come in that it equals out? And like, why are we not inspiring people enough anymore? Because there's too much, and the accessibility to make music and make shitty fucking music
Well, the critiques
is
are
so
always-
easy now. Again, what we were saying, like everyone I know in West Hollywood has a single.
Well, I mean,
And I
that's
hear
just the
their
gay
songs,
community
and I'm
in
like,
general.
why is everyone sounded like a nasally Broadway knockoff singer? And it's like, whatever. And like, there's no art here. This is recreation.
I think that it's like a lot of it to do with the accessibility. Like they're so accessible because of social and because of however the world is nowadays. And I feel like that mystique of being like, oh my god, what is she doing?
Well,
is not happening anymore.
These
the magic.
these casting directors, these productions, these movies,
Same
film,
girl.
television, and music, they cater it now towards the following versus the talent.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like you'll have people that are acting in movies that are an influencer. They can't act for shit, but
Oh,
they're
yeah.
in this movie because
Yeah.
all the
3 million on TikTok.
All the
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. The producers are like, well, they're gonna
Like
have
the
3 million
modeling
people.
industry's done.
Yeah,
It's all influencer.
or
right?
AI now.
I know, my modeling career doesn't seem to be taking off.
Have you seen that?
Oh, I saw you in an underwear ad the other day for Calvin Klein. Was that AI?
It was, it was Sheen, is what it was. It was Sheen. Anyway, we have to conclude. It has been such an honor to get when Jeremy says, "I have somebody for you." I know. I'm just like, it's for real.
Aw, thank you for having
We're
me,
gonna
guys.
have a good time.
Yes, and I'll come back anytime you want.
Oh, there'll be many times. Bobby will be down the street like
In the window. What are you guys doing?
Salem's Lot. Tap,
Sorry,
tap, tap,
Bobby.
tap.
Now you're down the window. You're in the
He's
window
like,
now, Bobby.
I don't like that.
I don't like that you guys are talking without me.
Yeah.
I like that.
Taya, what advice would you have for a woman wanting to get into wrestling?
I mean, I think that this kind of goes for wrestling and goes along with entertainment in general. Like, you're going to have a thick skin, and you're going to have to be your biggest fan, because there is going to be so many times in your career from start to finish, or even when you pass that, where like nobody believes in you, and you have to really be prepared to feel lonely sometimes, but also just be completely obsessed with what you do. You know, and you can always, the stereotypical kind of things like surround yourself with people that inspire you, and like, but honestly, that also really, really helps. Like, just be your biggest fan, make sure you have good people beside you, and that actually truly organically and with whole heart like believe in you just as much as you do, and also work your fucking ass off.
Yeah, that's the
Work
dive.
your ass off,
Yeah.
because it never ends. And just when you think you got to the end, another chapter begins. So
The goalposts changed.
yes.
And Taya, where can we find and follow you?
Well, I am on social media at the Taya Valkyrie on Twitter as well as on Instagram and TikTok. I also have facebook.com/Taya Valkyrie, and you guys can watch the I Don't Like That podcast on YouTube on Taya Valkyrie TV's channel, as well as listening to it wherever podcasts are listened to, wherever that may be for you. And we have the season 2 of Johnny Loves Taya coming out this fall, along with keep an eye out for my new Christmas song, and make sure you're listening to my new songs right now. Download them, save them, and make a dance with them. I don't know, have fun.
And the morning after, just one listen through, you're like, yep, this
You get
is my
it.
song. I totally got it. Yeah.
But yeah, well, thank you though for having me. I really appreciate
of
it.
course.
Super fun.
Jeremy, your advice for somebody that might have a certain brand that might want to get into music?
Follow the art, follow your heart, and write and write and write, and do things that inspire you, and don't go for trends.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Ew, be yourself.
It's hard to
Is
be
that my T-shirt?
It's hard to be authentic. It's really hard to be authentic. You get
It
inspired.
really is.
Yeah.
It's a
Be
difference
the
between-
weirdo. I think
it's-
Write
That is
about
a
what
good
you want to
suggestion.
write about, not what people tell you want
Yeah.
to write about.
That's really good advice, because if you're writing for the trend right now, by the time you get it out, that trend is over.
Yeah.
And that works when you're there and you're in a certain lane, but when you're in a development period, you need to just write about dumb things. I don't care if it's a train car or a cup holder. I don't really care what it is. Write that song, make it situational, make it for you, and learn. Just learn. You don't have to be Beyonce right now.
All right, and where can we find and follow you? BleachX!
Oh, BleachX. Instagram, Twitter, BleachX Music. I'm out. I'm working on the sophomore project. About to go back on tour. We're doing a Christmas song with Miss Taya Valkyrie coming out. And yeah, we'll see you next year.
All right. Steven, what do you want to say to our listeners? What's your week advice? Not week advice, but like your advice for the
I
week.
heard it was week, too.
This is my advice. I'm so weak.
Here's my
All
advice.
right, so weak.
Make sure you take out the trash on Fridays. What would my week advice be? I don't.
He's
your
the devil,
advice to
Bobby
me?
Boucher. I got you.
You did this.
Some inside
I
jokes
know, I
happening
knew
on-
that was going to
No,
set
no,
you
no.
up.
Bobby Boucher
I
is.
don't know what's going on.
When two blondes talk to each other, it's just like a wind tunnel to me. It's like,
It's because I sounded like Adam Sandler and.
do you though?
Send a blue shell.
Anyway,
God.
my week advice is to have better jokes. That's my week advice.
And where can people find and follow you?
Only Steven Dehler on Instagram, and then Steven Dehler, Dehler, I guess. Because if I say Dehler, then they're gonna type
It's
in
Dehler.
A.
Because
And
we
it's,
have daily dose of
yeah,
Dehler.
I know. Yeah.
Dehler.
I know, but anyway.
Anyway, well, that's all, folks. It's always a grab bag of fun here every week. You never know who's going to show up. Big thank you to our engineer today and for Straw Hut Media. Please like, share, subscribe so we can continue bringing you the sexy show for free, I might add. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, stay sexy, and if you drink, stay tipsy. Cheers! This has been another episode of On the Rocks. Tweet me and slide into my DMs on Twitter and Instagram @OnTheRocks.